The young artist wandered through the narrow streets of Rome. She deeply loved this place. As she passed by the ancient buildings and ruins, she always felt filled with complete awe. She had seen these ruins and buildings hundreds of times, but they never got old for her. The city seemed to hum with a vibrancy and energy that she always loved to witness. On this particular day, she had decided to visit the Vatican for the first time. Although she'd lived in Rome for years, she never made it to this amazing place. She found herself standing in St. Peter's Square, looking up at the massive dome of St. Peter's Basilica. The air was filled with the sounds and the murmur of tourists from all over the world. She couldn't wait to go in and discover all of the treasures deep within this amazing place. The air inside was cool and still, filled with the scent of old stone and burning candles. She wandered through the great walls, taking in the ornate paintings and sculptures that surrounded her. She found herself amazed by some of the ancient artifacts, baffled by the fact that humans thousands of years ago had been so advanced as to create such mesmerizing objects. This baffled her but inspired her at the same time. She just wished that she could translate this inspiration onto canvas. You see, lately she had been struggling with being able to create the creative part of her that made her an artist. Wasn't working for some reason. This was part of the reason she had come here. To look, see, to breathe and smell, to seek and find. After some time, she found herself in the Raphael rooms. She listened to her audio guide, which spoke of Raphael spending weeks and months in these very rooms painting these giant frescoes. She looked to a particular spot and saw that Raphael had painted the great artist Michelangelo into his fresco, perhaps a nod of respect to a fellow artist. This place was awash with human creativity, and the young artist was completely blown away. Soon she was standing in front of the entrance to the Sistine Chapel. She stepped inside. The room was filled with people and security guards telling people to be quiet. She admired, of course, the world-renowned ceiling painted by Michelangelo, but part of her wished that she could experience this place alone. She stood in the center of the room, gazing up at the magnificent ceiling in awe of the intricate details and the vibrant colors that covered every inch of it. She found herself transported back in time, imagining what it would have been like to be here 500 years ago. She closed her eyes, trying to picture Michelangelo delicately painting each bit of this amazing ceiling. Her audio guide told her that Michelangelo often worked at night, alone with his thoughts and the flickering light of a flame. She tried to imagine the silence that enveloped him as he worked, the concentration that must have been upon him. In many ways, she wished she could visit those days to witness that long-gone world for herself. She longed to experience the sights, the sounds, and the smells of Rome in the Renaissance, to see what the streets looked like, to hear the sounds of horses and carriages passing by, to smell the scents of fresh bread and spices and other smells of that world. The young artist returned to her little apartment, still lost in thought from her visit to the Sistine Chapel. As she lay in bed, she reflected on her current state as an artist. The inspiration that she couldn't find was remaining elusive. She remembered she had started out so well when she was younger, filled with hope and creativity, but lately it felt like she didn't even know why she was an artist anymore, felt unable to move forward or to create anything meaningful. She closed her eyes, took some deep breaths in and out, and allowed herself to become very present, listening to the distant sounds of the city outside her window. The gentle hum of voices and the distant sound of music from a nearby cafe drifted through the warm night air. It was a magical time in Rome, and she felt so lucky to live there, moving deeper towards sleep. And as she drifted off, she hoped that the memories of her visit to the Sistine Chapel would stay with her and that they would help her find the inspiration she so desperately craved.